Are you looking for a career that will allow you to make a difference in the lives of young children and their families? I'm here to talk about a program that will allow you to do just that, the Certificate in Early Intervention program here at Bay Path University. Before we talk specifically about the program, let's explore early intervention and what that means here in the state of Massachusetts. What is early intervention? It's a statewide integrated developmental service available to families of eligible children from birth to 3 years of age. It serves children with developmental difficulties due to identified diagnoses or delays, or who are at risk of developing delays due to certain birth or environmental factors. Examples of identified diagnoses include autism spectrum disorder, Down syndrome, hearing or vision loss, or epilepsy. Birth and environmental factors include things like premature birth, low birth weight, substance abuse in the home, or an open case by the Department of Children and Families. Early intervention is a home visiting program that focuses on the family unit, utilizing family resources and daily routines to enhance the child's growth and development. Early intervention providers work in partnership with individuals present in a child's natural environment, typically their home or daycare setting. Here in Massachusetts, early intervention is based on the values of respect, individualization, family-centeredness, community, team collaboration, and lifelong learning. Professionals who work in early intervention are known as early intervention specialists. Let's take a look at some fictional help wanted ads to learn a little bit more about what the job is like. Tolerant of runny noses, sticky fingers, messy pants, enthusiastic siblings, no doorbells, unshoveled walkways, Paw Patrol videos, and soap operas. Supportive of families yet able to maintain professional relationships. An individual with a large bladder and warm heart who can negotiate Massachusetts drivers, complete mountains of paperwork, maintain productivity, enrich families' lives, and still have energy to have fun at the end of the day. Do either of those descriptions sound like you? If yes, let's talk a little bit more about who is eligible to become an early intervention specialist here in Massachusetts. Speech-language pathologists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, licensed mental health counselors or licensed marriage and family therapists, social workers, nurses, and developmental specialists. This is not an exhaustive list of professionals who work in early intervention, but these are some of the most common. Let's talk more about developmental specialists, because this is a term that you're unlikely to be familiar with. It's something that exists just in the early intervention world. A developmental specialist is a category of early intervention specialists that includes professionals with 4 different types of educational backgrounds. Someone with a bachelor's degree with a major or concentration in infants and toddlers, which includes early intervention and early childhood. Someone with a bachelor's degree with a major or concentration in child development or child studies. Someone with a bachelor's degree with a major or concentration in education or special education. Or someone with a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution. For those 4 different types of developmental specialists, each professional must have transcripts that reflect successful completion of at least 4 approved 3-credit courses that focus on infants, toddlers, and/or families, and they also must have at least 300 hours of practicum work experience with young children. Let's take a few minutes to watch a short video to learn more about working in early intervention.
Early intervention, known as EI, is a home visiting program to help children birth to 3 grow and develop. Families may be eligible if the child was born prematurely, has a vision or hearing problem, has been slow to sit up, walk, talk, or do things for himself, has a disability, or health condition, such as Down syndrome, has behavior or attention difficulties. Other children may be eligible because of poverty, family violence, or parent illness. Research shows that growth and development are most rapid in the early years of life. The infant brain has a great capacity to adjust and adapt in the first 3 years of life. EI provides crucial support to children's development during those years. Without home visiting by EI specialists in the early stages of development, these children could face increased issues in school and in peer relationships. Some research even shows that interventions in the early years improve rates of high school graduation and employment. EI provides teams of specialists who help infants and toddlers with language, physical movement, daily activities, and family relationships. These early intervention specialists represent a variety of disciplines. Some are trained as physical therapists who help children with physical movement issues, as speech pathologists who support language development, occupational therapists who assist with daily routines such as mealtime and bedtime, social workers who support child and family emotional development, developmental specialists whose backgrounds in child development prepare them to work in teams. The child's family is always an important part of these teams. EI specialists are on the front lines in their work with young children and families. They are often the parent's first teacher. They meet the family at a vulnerable time and help the family to support their child in each area of their lives, setting the basis for lifelong learning. Every community in Massachusetts is served by at least one early intervention program. At any given time, Massachusetts serves around 15,000 children, or about 7% of children birth to 3. EI specialists use toys, games, and songs in therapeutic interventions. Their goals are to help children participate in activities with family and other children and to work towards age-appropriate independence. Families and specialists together develop a plan for all the services and related activities that the child needs. Services are individualized to meet the needs of each child and family. EI specialists listen carefully to what families say about their children, work closely with other staff, and refer families for help from other community providers. Connecting all these activities is an important part of the job and is called service coordination. Parents and staff collaborate as a team to support the child's progress. Gretchen is a developmental specialist who works at a program in Boston.
We work like it's a multidisciplinary team. So it's, we have OTs, we have PTs, we have speech and language, we have developmental specialists, we have, early childhood ed people. So we all work together.
Graham was referred to early intervention because of the muscle tightness in his neck that prevents normal development of physical skills. Allison is an occupational therapist. She's working with Jennifer, Graham's mother, on exercises to help Graham lie on his tummy, lift his head, and use his neck muscles. Now he can explore toys in his field of vision. These are activities that can be incorporated into Graham's routine every day.
Because the whole back of himself is nice and strong, so his leg muscles and so even
so
right
it's just
there. So
sitting
he's having to use his neck muscles and his little belly muscles doing that.
Students and professionals ask us how they will use their knowledge and skills in early intervention. Using teamwork, for example, a speech pathologist could assist other staff and families to support a child in using his or her words at mealtime. EI staff need head, heart, and hands, knowledge, skills, and the ability to interact in a relationship-based setting. Jeff is the service coordinator for Isaac and his twin brother. He helps their family find and manage important activities and services. Today, he's working on Isaac's strength and coordination in toddler playgroup at the Community EI program. Alexa's family is very focused on helping her improve her communication so she can socialize with other children, have her needs met at home, and be an active member of the family. Gretchen is the service coordinator for Alexa and her family. Today, Gretchen, who's a developmental specialist, brought her colleague Anne, who's a speech pathologist, to work with Alexa and her family on language development. Alexa's parents are very pleased that, with early intervention, she can now clearly request food items from them and her older sister, and is about to begin preschool.
An elephant and a cow. What do you want?
A cow.
I want the cow. Here you go. Roxanne, that was really nice because she looked right up when she said a cow, to say what she wanted. So I'm waiting to see that, more and more. That's really good. She's starting to pair that eye contact with her words.
A career in early intervention combines the satisfaction of working directly with children and families with excellent supervision, work flexibility, and many opportunities for professional development.
I had no idea, what early intervention was like until I really started. I had a basis for it. You read things about it, but you don't know until you do it. And, I graduated, with an undergrad in communication disorders, hoping and eventually hope to go on and get a master's in speech therapy. If I'm working with a child who has an expressive language delay and, where we're playing with a toy or we're doing an activity and all of a sudden they imitate a sound or they sign for the first time and the parents are just, amazed or shocked. It's such a great feeling to know that you motivated them to do that or you provided the model for them to do that. And that just, it's not, you can't describe it. It's a great feeling.
I love children, and I think that anyone who has that passion for them, this is really the place for them. With each new intake, each new family, I am working with people's treasures.
Upon leaving the family when the child turned 3, the mom expressed how happy she was that we worked together, how I helped them out so much, and she was really grateful. And I feel like that first family was the reason why I decided to work for early intervention, so that I could make a difference in people's lives. And it made me feel good that she appreciated what I did, and I felt good that I was able to do that.
EI specialists have regular meetings with supervisors to discuss challenging issues with the families they serve. Here Kim meets with her supervisor, Sharon. Some meetings address particular stresses in a family's life or how to improve communication with a family. The goal is to make sure that staff have the support they need while providing the services that the child and family need. Many EI specialists take advantage of the flexibility to work part-time and to manage their work schedule.
It's very rewarding, number one, but also for me, I love the flexibility of the job. I'm 30-something years old. I'll probably be starting a family sometime soon. I love that I can plan my own schedule. If I needed to take time out to go to a doctor's appointment, I could do that. The hours are wonderful. I could work part-time eventually when I have children. I could go back to full-time when they're in school. Just the flexibility of this career is exactly what I was looking for.
If you are looking for a dynamic work environment working with young children, flexibility, independence, and the ability to make a difference for children and families, EI may be for you. Begin by checking with your guidance or career counselor to understand the path. There are a number of options for you. For example, you might begin by studying early childhood courses at a 2-year college and transition to a 4-year degree. Another approach is to seek a bachelor's degree in early childhood education or special education in order to become a developmental specialist. Still another approach is to pursue an advanced degree in social work, occupational therapy, physical therapy, or speech-language pathology. Massachusetts Early Intervention also now recruits physical therapy assistants, occupational therapy assistants, and speech-language pathology assistants, many of whom have graduated from 2-year programs.
The big thing I think is that it's not a taboo, that if your kid has special needs or a little help, it's amazing. But now I feel like so more relaxed about it, and that, you know, I was able to find out early on that they needed some help, and early intervention came and taught us how to help them.
With the early intervention and the physical therapy and all of what they've done, it's just to see the look on his face when he's accomplished something. That's the best feeling.
I would want them to know that as a mother of a child who's gone through early intervention, if they offered me a job, I would take it in a heartbeat. That's what I would tell them.
Massachusetts EI services are provided by community EI programs statewide, all of which recruit staff independently. You can find a complete listing of Mass early intervention programs at www.massfamilyties.org, including locations of programs and contact information for program directors. EI specialists participate in ongoing professional development at a variety of workshops and training. See www.eitrainingscenter.org for information about training opportunities in Massachusetts early intervention. At www.mass.gov/dph/early intervention, there is complete information about personnel and certification in Massachusetts early intervention.
All professional staff members providing direct service to children and families and working 20 or more hours a week are required to become certified as early intervention specialists by the Massachusetts Department of Public Health within 3 years of starting employment in early intervention. Staff typically go through a portfolio process involving multiple trainings and writing about different aspects of their early intervention work to demonstrate competencies in order to earn their certification. The Early Intervention Certificate Program here at Bay Path allows you to bypass that portfolio process. Eligible undergraduate and graduate students can take a total of 18 credits in as little as 2 semesters to be eligible to apply for provisional certification with advanced standing from the Department of Public Health. This advanced standing allows you to become certified as an early intervention specialist after working 1,440 hours in early intervention. The Certificate in Early Intervention program at Bay Path is approved by the Massachusetts Department of Public Health, which oversees early intervention, is delivered in a hybrid format which includes online and on-ground face-to-face meeting times, includes 4 academic courses and a practicum experience that extends over 2 semesters. Each course combines online learning with 4 face-to-face meetings per semester, integrated as much as possible within the curriculum of a student's specific degree program. There are 4 academic courses that are required in the Early Intervention Certificate program. Each is worth 3 credits. CEI 580 Infant and Toddler Development, CEI 581 Family Systems and Early Intervention, CEI 582 Early Intervention Assessment, and CEI 583 Planning and Evaluating in Early Intervention. There are also 2 required fieldwork courses as part of the program. CEI 584 Practicum 1 in Early Intervention and CEI 585 Practicum 2 in Early Intervention. There is also a required prerequisite course, CEI 579 Orientation to Early Intervention Practicum, which is a 0-credit online course that is required to be completed before students can begin Practicum 1. The orientation course describes how students can apply to practicum sites to obtain a site for their field work. Field work is a very important part of the Certificate in Early Intervention program. Students must complete a total of 300 hours of field training, approximately 150 hours each semester, with a participating early intervention program. Students need to commit at least 12 hours a week to their early intervention program fieldwork. Each practicum experience is accompanied by a seminar that meets twice each semester. In between the 2 face-to-face meetings, students are required to submit work online in Canvas. This is a typical course sequence for students who are completing the certificate as a standalone program. In the fall semester, infant and toddler development, family systems and early intervention, and practicum 1 in early intervention can be taken. In spring semester, early intervention assessment, planning and evaluating in early intervention, and practicum 2 and early intervention are typically taken. If you are combining the early intervention certificate program with another undergraduate or graduate program, your course sequence may look different. However, the 4 academic courses are only offered in the semesters that they're listed here, with infant and toddler development and family systems offered in the fall semester, and assessment and planning and evaluating offered in the spring semester. Practicum 1 and Practicum 2 will be offered in fall, spring, and summer semesters. You may be asking yourself, how does the Certificate in Early Intervention program fit with the program I'm currently in? Well, it can be taken as a standalone certificate program. It can also be combined with undergraduate or graduate programs in psychology, clinical mental health counseling, occupational therapy, and education. You can talk with your academic advisor about how the Certificate in Early Intervention program can fit into your specific program. Here's an example of how the Certificate in Early Intervention program can be combined with the Clinical Mental Health Counseling program. There are typical 2-year and 3-year sequences to combine those 2 programs together.